let's get this thing started. All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to Dano Crypto. On this channel, we show you guys how to make simple, effective, and easy moves in the cryptocurrency ecosystems. Now, we are feeling, I guess, over this past weekend, you know, we've been feeling a little upset. That market crash that we had just basically solidified my feelings about Binance and CZ, because over the past couple of weeks, with you know, people bridging into BNB chain with Aster, with all of this you know, hype around CZ. CZ's getting a lot of attention on the timeline, and there's basically a hidden war that is happening, and it reminded me a little bit of basically the hidden wars that were happening between Terra Luna and these founders like Do Kwon, like Sam Bankman-Fried, like CZ, Changpeng Zhao, all of these characters that were all interconnected in some type of way, but also in competition with each other, seemed to lead my tinfoil hat theories down the rabbit hole. And it started to make me think about who is the true enemy here in crypto and why we've had such crazy price action and manipulation, especially with the altcoins, and especially when it comes to Ethereum and Solana. Because let's be honest, the on-chain data has been showing us that every single time Solana or Ethereum starts to get traction and starts to do better than BNB, which is Binance's chain, they send millions and millions and millions of dollars worth of Solana, Ethereum, and Bitcoin into things like clearinghouses. Let's just call them clearinghouses. We're not going to name names, but one of them that's been thrown around a lot, obviously, is Wintermute. We got Cumberland. I think there's a few more, but those specifically are used to completely dump the price for these specific assets. And now we've seen it directly in CoinMarketCap that BNB is basically, I feel like, this is just an opinion based on what I've been gathering through the timeline, is that BNB is propping up their chain and dumping all of the altcoins to make sure that they are on the top, because they control a good, say, 40% of the spot trading volume, and then in futures they control 60%. So it's very much a centralized, manipulated machine that's happening, but it's also being used to take down the competition. And for example, with also in the background with the perp dexes with Hyperliquid and Aster. So, and an example, all the altcoins that were on Binance completely went to zero. And if you look at other coins that were on, say, like, I mean, like, look, like, for instance, like, most of the altcoins wicked down like that on Binance. But for instance, you look at XYO on Coinbase, and it didn't do this like to zero wick like this. It didn't go poof. It didn't do that. It did not do that. But we look at something like Optimism, and it went to zero. It went down at 70, almost 80%. Then you look at something like Floki, same thing. This was even worse, though. This was even worse. We have to find it real quick. Let's see. There it is. Yeah, look at that one. It's pretty fascinating. Look at how bad that wicked down. And if you go from the bottom, yeah, I know Wick said Uptober, more like up over, up and over. Yeah. Yeah, no, it was, and so hindsight is 2020, guys, because if you think about it, we were all ready for Uptober. They gave us Uptober for the first week of October. And we should have known, we should have suspected that that was way too fast. Like, that should have been the easiest signal of a bull trap we've ever seen. Because you could just, we're like, oh, October, and then we get it, and everyone on the timeline was like, is this actually real? Is this happening? So we should have known that there was going to be some type of rug pull going into mid-October. Get us excited, get us excited. Everyone's bullish long, super bullish long. Everything's looking good. And then Binance comes out with the massive attacks. It's pretty crazy, but people are waking up to this, and this is what we're going to discuss. We bookmarked as many tweets as we could to show you guys that other people are starting to wake up to this. They're really starting to wake up to the fact that, like, I think one of the biggest problems we have in crypto is Binance doing what they're doing, and they're probably, and they're not the only ones. I'm sure there's other exchanges that are doing the same thing, but Binance takes the cake. We're starting to notice now that Binance definitely takes the cake, and I do not like how the crypto space and the crypto influencers and some of these people, especially these big accounts, are just kissing the ring of CZ. And it's almost like a mob boss. It's almost like you don't want to say anything back because you think you're going to get cinder blocked into the lake. So it's like, I really think it's atrocious, and I think it's ridiculous. And I feel like I don't even want to be affiliated with Binance or even I don't want to promote any of the, I never did anyway, but I just don't want, it makes me mad. And it's like, if I have any integrity at all, I'll stick by that. And it's kind of like, and Richard Hart points out a lot of this, and this is why Richard Hart's so villainized, because he chooses not to play the exchange's games. He chooses not to. So specifically when it comes to Pulse, because they want to buy, you know what the truth is they want 10% of your supply of your token. Immediately, they're like, we want 10% of your supply, and you have to pay $1 million to list it. And you have to pay like close to $1 million for give us your supply and also pay us a bunch of money. It's like exchanges are sometimes they're the worst. And this is what's so interesting in crypto is like we are a lot of the times led to believe that we like have to rely on all the exchanges, but really we got to remember that crypto's on chain, and crypto is actually about privacy and keeping your funds instead of having an exchange completely steal all of your funds. Because let's be honest, Binance just stole everyone's money. Binance stole everyone's money, and they're getting away with it. They stole everyone's money. Where did all the liquidations go? Where did all the money go? You realize when people get liquidated and their collateralized loans get margin called, who gets the money? Who gets the freaking money? So Binance just literally liquidated everyone, and then comes back on the timeline and then says, keep building. Now we'll go a step further. This is also what has been frustrating me, is that we have the Trump family. 100% was market manipulation on our side too, in America. I think this was a coordinated effort. And because then we have these things about Trump saying he's going to pardon CZ. It's almost like they want to eliminate the ability for CZ to get in trouble for what is happening right now. So what's happening right now is a collusion with the Trump insiders, who are the Trump whales, whoever is on the inside and in these meetings where they're setting up these accounts and then they're counter trading on the news and being prepared for Trump to tweet whatever it is. Then on the other side, you have Binance, Chinese, knowing that these deals are happening as well. They're on the other side, ready, sending all of the Solana, all the ETH, all the Bitcoin into Wintermute to get ready. Boom. And then all at the same time, because of the nature of the way that the market was leveraged, it was the perfect storm to completely manipulate the entire space. Because when this has happened, when we've had crashes like this, it does V-shape recovery. But the difference is no one has the chance to buy the freaking V-shape recovery dip because they got wiped out. Some people were using their crypto as a loan. And there's so many ways that this market just got cooked by Binance purposefully depegging and wrecking these altcoins. And then they stole it from us and then bought the bottom while you couldn't get in the account and said, we have maintenance issues. Can you believe that? So this is what is happening right now. And I think they should be boycotted. Look, this is my favorite meme coin. I don't need it on Binance. Hey, it hadn't been on Binance this whole time that it broke all-time highs 6 times. So I don't care. I don't need my favorite coins to be on Binance. I'd rather it not. So the enemy here, enemy number one, is, I'm going to say it, the insiders on the Trump side. I think it's atrocious. I think it's ridiculous. I don't care if you know that it's going to happen. It doesn't mean that because you can do it means it's right. But these people, they can't help themselves. They're like I can make $200-300 million overnight, literally in an hour. They're like, I can make $200 million an hour. Yeah, I'm going to do that. And then the same with Binance. They're like, oh, we control all the supplies of these altcoins and we're able to literally wreck the market so then we can buy the dip, so then we can take the crypto, so then we can prop up our own chain that's literally just a copy and paste of Ethereum. Literally just a copy and paste of Ethereum. That's all it is. It's all BNB is. It's not like BNB is special. It's not like there's some different thing happening on BNB. It's called Chinese wash manipulation trading at its finest, and it's freaking ridiculous. And then when you even get into some of the decentralized nature of these DEXs, they might not even be as decentralized as you think because the supplies are so heavily manipulated by the people that are propping it up. So you also have to watch out for that too. So the true DEX is just literally trading on chain in a wallet, old school style. And it begs the question, should we even be leverage trading anyway? Like, because at the end of the day, the people that have made the most money, let's be honest, have been the ones who just like bought, hold, accumulated, waited, were patient, and didn't try to leverage trade. And it's a very small percentage of people that leverage trade and trade on a daily basis that are profitable. Let's just be honest. Those are facts. So let's play this clip of Richard Hart explaining about leverage. And also we're going to watch this clip of Richard Hart. This is old Richard Hart. This is like 2016 Richard Hart This is the Richard Hart I wish I had discovered. This particular Richard Hart, I like the one now because he seems like he's on a cryptic mission to basically have Pulse Chain be the in-game rotation. But this is the Richard Hart that I would have loved to have seen and studied his. And so my friends were talking about it, and I was interested. I was thinking, you know, but it was just on the back end. It was on the back end. But yes, no, I muted my mic somehow. I don't know how I did that. But yeah, it was so it would have been really cool because like people, it's so crazy. Dutchy, you're funny. I know you hate it when I start talking about Richard Hart, and that is why I'm gonna do it. That's why I'm gonna buy more Pulse Chain, because that is the perfect signal for me. And also, we have a perfect bottom signal as well. Where's the bottom signal? Let's go to crypto. Gosh, what is it? I don't even watch their channel anymore, so I can't even remember the name. Crypto Banter. Where is it? Where's the thumbnail? Yeah. This is the end of the crypto bull market, and he has proof. That is the biggest bottom signal you could have in crypto. Crypto Man ran, who told you to double down, triple down, quadruple down on Luna. He lost everything in Luna. And he wants to tell you that the bull market is over. The best in crypto right there. All right, so also won't acknowledge, like every time Pulse Chain was pumping and had bubbles, he would literally skip over it and then talk about something else. I'm like, I can't discover any more. I know, was it clickbait? I don't care if it was even clickbait. I'm not going to listen to him anyway. But jokes aside, though, we have met crypto. We've actually met Ran a few times, and he was always really nice. So like all jokes aside, we've actually met Ran in person. so we can actually. And also Carl too. We've also met Carl in person. We've actually met a lot of the people that we thought we wouldn't meet in person very early in the crypto journey. But we've got a little taste of the Dubai crypto influencers. Oh my gosh. It's so funny. But all right, let's get into some of these bookmarks because we're not gonna play this yet, but we want to show you guys these bookmarks, man. We were seeing all of the Binance posts coming in, and people were. I'm not the only one that is upset about this. I mean, there is just this one was real. I thought this post was pretty. I thought this post was pretty like on the nose, because this was as the Turkish crypto community, they were like basically asking CZ these questions, and all of the questions that they were presenting, I was like, these are valid questions, and it begs the question: why is CZ getting considered for a pardon if this is the case? He doesn't deserve a pardon. Dubai Mafia. No new high for Dogecoin. Oh, we're going to get into Dogecoin because we thought there was going to be like a pretty big announcement today, but there was an announcement today. We're going to cover that too. Gosh, sometimes like it's so funny because there is there's always something to talk about in crypto. There really is. There's always something happening in crypto. There's always some kind of either beef, there's some kind of new thing launching, there's a new whatever airdrop, there's this. I mean, gosh, there's all this massive crash that happened, all the stuff with the CZ and Jeff with Hyperliquid. And God, sometimes I feel like it's just, whoa, it's a lot. There's a lot going on. There's a lot going on, and what's crazy is that I really do think that this is the war that's happening along with AI. AI is very much connected into the crypto space. Think about all the legislation and how the government is we're just basically like pushing it into the chain. What's up, Steve Randall? Just popping in to say word up, working from home. Oh, nice. Let's go. Let's go. Shout out to Steve Randall Jr. Are you still in Texas? My wife said something really funny. I said, what were we talking about? She said, because I said something. I said, you don't mess with, or I was saying something, you don't mess with something. And she was like, yeah, there's two things in this word. You don't mess with Texas and you don't mess with, and I can't remember what else it was. But that was the bit. That was the one. It was like we were talking about something politically or something like that. It was like, yeah, you don't mess with Texas. They don't mess around. Huh? What are you saying? What are you saying, headband? Almost like you have bubble boxes in the top right hand of your screen. Wait, what? Bubble boxes. Where? What are you talking about? Well, this is really this banner. I don't know why this banner is not even updated. I don't know what I'm doing. Let me fix this. Let me just like boop. All right. There we go. Okay, so let's this one I really liked. So let's get into this one, okay? They asked the question, Shangpeng Zhao, CZ, as the Turkish crypto community, we want to ask you an open and honest question, and we'd expect a sincere answer, sir. Today, more than 90% of altcoin investors around the world are in a loss. Some people committed, and let's look legitimate. It's not a joke. It's for real. Okay, so people got completely destroyed, but something strange happened yesterday. Even though no one sold, almost all altcoins suddenly no one sold, but all altcoins lost up to 90% of their value. Some even spiked down to zero for a few seconds. Okay, for a few seconds. Crypto for freedom, we're gonna get to you. We got a lot of tips for you. We could have a private call if you want to. I'll tell you all the tips. Tell you all the mistakes that I've made. Tell you how I'm fixing them. If you end up making the mistakes, I could go down the rabbit hole of crypto YouTube, because you, my friend, are going in the crucible. You better get ready to get burned. You better get ready to get chopped. You better get ready to forge your sword, because if you're going to be going into any type of crypto content, you, my friend, are going into the damn lion's den. So you better get prepared. But anyway, how is that possible? How can prices crash without any real selling? And I'm going to be the one to tell you that. No one else will tell you that. They'll be like, yeah, bro, dude, you just, no, I'm going to encourage you, but I'm going to tell you like it is. Because I've been doing this for 3.5 years, 4 years. And you would think, oh, shouldn't you have more subscribers? Shouldn't you blah, blah, blah? Shouldn't you blah, blah, blah? Yeah, easy to say. Try it yourself. It is an interesting, interesting thing to try and work on. All right, so some even spiked down to zero for a few seconds. How is that possible? How can prices crash without any real selling? Okay, that's a genuine question. Genuine question. Is this truly a natural market movement, or is there an invisible mechanism operating in the background? What's even more interesting is that this didn't happen to tokens that are not listed on any exchange. For example, the last token I purchased, ALF token, ALF token, Why were they purchasing ALF token to begin with? Okay, so that's your own damn fault. Didn't face such a crash simply because it's not listed on the exchange. This is just an example. I like that shill though, nice shill. Is this just a coincidence, or are we looking at a systematic issue within exchanges? As the Turkish crypto community, we genuinely want to know the truth. When people's hard-earned savings and years of effort can vanish in seconds, we believe that every altcoin investor has the right to hear an honest explanation directly from you. Honest question. So this is this is from Kook. We got a couple of tweets that we're breaking down. CZ had his chance to take down Hyperliquid, but he missed it. If he went all out at the time of the Jelly attack and did this mass industry liquid cascade and said it would have worked, he had to scale up the attack 100x, but Hyperliquid was already 1000x stronger. Insane saga being fought in the shadows right now. CZ literally almost destroyed the entire crypto industry on purpose just to take out his strongest competitor. This is why I had this is why I went back to the FTX thing. And you remember what caused it was the back and forth tweetings of CZ and Sam Bankman, when Sam Bankman was like, hey, can you help us? And he was like, yeah, no, not gonna help it. And then you remember there was like a back and forth exchange, and that was what ended up literally from that exchange. We had the whole thing go to crap. So it leads me to think tinfoil hat. Sorry, but CZ literally almost destroyed the entire crypto industry on purpose just to take out his strongest competitor. Think I'm wrong. He did the same thing to SBF and FTX. But Hyperliquid isn't FTX, and Jeff isn't SBF. It's too late, and the window is gone. Hyperliquid is too strong, and he's saying, CZ, you lost. So he said, time to bow out gracefully and let the industry modernize and move forward. You only hurt people. We've had enough. Even Marty Party came in and was like, I can't argue with that. And this person said they literally went all out. They listed Jelly on Binance on purpose during the incident and tried to max pump it. He said hype validators just fixed the settlement price and messed the manipulators. Some AG said exactly what we were talking about yesterday. So much corruption, all coordinated and executed with surgical accuracy, but failed at expense of basically effing retail traders. Oh, and that's so interesting. He said that Thread interview wasn't a coincidence. Not blaming Thread. It was, and this would make me think that Thread guy he's an informant. He's a plant. He's a Fed. No one. I'm sorry, but he's a Fed. I'm saying it right now. Hey, this is my live stream. I can say whatever the hell I want. And I think Thread guy's a Fed. And I think that the fact that he got CZ on that interview and all timed perfectly, that's actually a pretty good assumption, and we'll tinfoil the crap out of that. I don't care. I think some of these people that have promoted some of the things on the timeline and had so much exposure and got people completely wrecked are 100% Fed like plants. Think about in history all the major things and all the cultural, think about all the culture shifts in society. 100% had plants in there, acting as if they were part of us. I almost want to cue the Kendrick Lamar song, they not like us, like, and start saying that right now, because sorry, some of these people in crypto, it's almost like, it's like, really? You really want me to believe that you did this all on your own? Give me a freaking break. But I don't know. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. These people will never come on my live stream because I'll ask them the real damn questions. I'm not gonna freaking blow smoke up their booty hole, all right? And I'm neither am going to for CZ. Because people got hurt and you are not doing anything about it. And this is why it should, I think it should be illegal. We want everything to be free market. So then what? So then people can get destroyed? No, we should have a fair chance, and it's crap. People understand that ETFs, and I'm saying this for our own government, I think it's BS that these Trump insiders are doing this. I think it's crap. We get the information, you know, so delayed that we don't even get a chance to even react to it. And the fact that retail didn't even get a chance to buy this dip where they could have bought the dip. How are you going to buy the dip in 5 minutes? Biggest crash ever in 5 minutes, and then it wicks right back up. I mean, good luck. Let's be honest. Buy the dip. Come on. How many people actually got a chance to buy that dip at the bottom? How? Don't lie to me. So people understand that ETFs and treasury companies are regulated by the 1934 Securities Acts, which make wash trading and dollar price manipulation illegal. Where's Gary Gensler? We're all like Wolverine meme. Limit orders, yes, you could say limit orders. Thank you. Okay, crypto for freedom. You got me there. I thought about it the night too. I was like, man, imagine the people that set limit orders that were just like hedging on a black swan event. Now, those people are a special breed of people. Yeah, lasers. Yeah, no, I was watching it too. But can I be honest with you? I didn't have stables on the side. I didn't have extra cash sitting on the side to buy the dip. I got everything tied up. I like straight up. Like, so when I saw this, I just laughed. I was like, because that's what happened. That's what has happened to me in every crash. I want to change this, but I never have the opportunity, and I don't want to say this, but I'm going to have the opportunity to buy the actual dip, because when those dips happen, it's like a meme. I'm like the classic meme. I'm like, sir, what dip? I'm like, what dry powder, sir? Brother in Christ, sister in Christ, where's the dry powder? What are you talking about? Have you seen the grocery bill? Have you seen the prices of steak? Okay. It's one of my favorite meals, steak and eggs in the morning. Have you seen the price of steak? So, all right, let's get back on track here. Same with the CME, options and futures. They are regulated to prevent manipulation. This is why the approval of ETFs is so critical for digital assets. We need to remove the assets from centralized, unregulated exchanges to regulate the exchanges. Or to regulated exchanges. The SEC just approved generic ETF listing standards for digital assets. This week, we may see SOL and XRP ETFs go live. This is SOL's only chance. This is where I feel, and I have said this. I have said it. I know I'm just a freaking dude on the internet. I am not a financial advisor. I'm an idiot. But I have called some things, and I've been pretty dead on, nail on the head. Okay? Almost at the expense of being, didn't even be able to capitalize on the damn opportunity of being right sometimes. But I think this is what is going to save SOL. We've been following this, and look, SOL, you see this chart? You're going to start to see millions coming here, and this might actually be what breaks the Binance sell wall. We've talked about this, about breaking the Binance sell wall, and that might be the only thing that will stop that. And then we will see SOL go to $1,000. Whether you like SOL or not, whether you think it's all soy boys, I think it has a chance. The issuers will buy the assets from the centralized exchanges, and the manipulation vectors will slowly be removed. This is why October 10th happened. This is why October 10th happened. The writing is on the wall for the manipulators, the casinos, and the market makers they hire. They are in desperation mode and would have had to carry all those longs to perpetuity. They cannot afford that. They can't afford that. That's why it's like these exchanges are dirty, man. It's like you think they're going to want to pay you all that money on your massive Bitcoin long or your massive longs, and you're holding the altcoins in their exchange, and you didn't even read the terms of service where it says they could just hold them indefinitely. They don't have to give them back to you. They're not going to do that. They're going to take your crypto. They cannot afford that, and so they executed their bunker busters and took out the longs, which were not liquidated by investors selling the asset. They were liquidated by artificial manipulation through market maker wash trading and API oracle manipulation. This is well documented, but I assure you the end game is in play for the artificial volatility in our asset class. And so that was a big signal that they are running out of time. They're running out of time. I like that breakdown. And then Marty Party was saying, read countless accounts coming around to the truth. He said what really happened on 1010, he's like, Binance just reminded everyone who really runs this market. This crash wasn't about Trump, tariffs, or macro. That was all noise. The real story happened inside the books. One market maker you definitely know moved $700 million of Bitcoin to Binance hours before the crash. 200 million of that was in BTC. Okay, so 200 million. If you notice, then as traditional markets bled, crypto started following, but something was off. The order books on Binance went hollow. No bids, no walls, just a free fall waiting to happen. The volume on BTC candles, 2K sold. On this one, 12K, even 1 minute candle had 1,000 BTC inside. Was this organic? Absolutely not. So at 100K, liquidation pressure hit terminal velocity because that was where it was like just damage control. Binance's own market maker stopped defending the price and pulled liquidity. This is exactly why Atom went to completely zero and some other alts went to zero. And the worst part, traders couldn't even fight back. On every other exchange, you could close, hedge, or buy the dip manually. On Binance, though, buttons stopped working, stop orders froze, limit orders hung, only liquidations were executed perfectly, but not in the way they should have been executed. Think about it. Your position, if it was 50x cross, stop at 1%, market dumps 50%. Your stop never hits. Your account gets nuked 25x over. And if you were mirrored across pairs, game over. Arbitrage bots amplified it because the price arbitrage that was happening between exchanges was so much. There was arbitrage of between a spread of 10K on Bitcoin. So there was arbitrage happening and it was insane. So arbitrage bots amplified it, selling where price still held, deepening the fall, lending protocols liquidated positions, alts down 80%. Anything with 2x leverage was wiped out. Some positions with even less leverage were liquidated. Hundreds of portfolios erased. Some funds too. No one's admitting it publicly yet, but you can read it. You can read between the lines. The market just showed its real nature: unfair, manipulated, and merciless. Only the strongest survive, which means holders. Only the strongest survive, and sometimes even they can't handle it. If you're still here, bleeding but alive, you've already passed a test most never recover from. And this is true. This is why we're here. Don't quit now. Learn what actually moves price. Know what influencers say does. And the next wave rewards those who survive this one. I really like this breakdown. So Headband, he said they took that order and split it between all the other tokens that the BTC didn't tank, and that later caused a mass ripple. Instead, they hit every coin to sell that order. It's smarter than you think. I know, but well, just because it was smart doesn't mean they should have done it. It really ruined a lot of people. I mean, they basically just stole everyone's crypto. And that was exactly what Voyager did. Voyager basically knew they were going bankrupt and went belly up and went and got liquidated with their Three Arrows Capital collusion. They loaned all our altcoins, all of our money that we put into their exchange. They lended it into Three Arrows Capital, and then they went bankrupt, and then they stopped, and then they canceled the freaking platform, and you couldn't withdraw. And so they took your money. And so I think any institution that's doing this should be boycotted, and we shouldn't use them. We vote with our money, my friends. And that's like very much an American thing too. Like, we vote with our money. We can just stop using stuff, right? Like, we can choose what we want. No, I don't think so. I think more of a slow one, Headband. I don't believe that, because if you remember, like, people had a little bit more warning. Like, even I remember going on the timeline, and I remember George, Cryptosaurus George, shout out to George. He was like, guys, I'm telling you, he was like, get your funds off exchanges. He was actually coming to the timeline about a couple weeks before. He actually hit it right on the nail. And I felt like an idiot because I had my stuff in Voyager still, and I had the ability to just take it off into MetaMask or just try and, make sure that it wasn't on anything. And I didn't listen. But it wouldn't have been, I don't think it would have been as worse. There's something different here. There was de-pegging of so many things that was way different and way more violent than what happened last time. This is just being hidden. The other one was being blunt, was all on the news. Like, this wasn't like, the mainstream media doesn't even understand this. They're like talking about the tariffs and the government shutdown. They don't know this is happening. They don't know this is all happening. They have no clue. Like, if you were to go on a Squawk Box, I guarantee you, if we would have just broke down everything that we just broke down today, they would be like, really? Because they don't follow this. They think CZ is Justin Sun. They don't even know the difference between Justin Sun and CZ. So mainstream media, they're so far off what's actually happening here. That's why you should watch our stream. You should watch crypto content creators. You should watch the people that are actually watching this stuff, because this is actually what's happening. But what's interesting is that I still, out of all of this, I saw it as a par for the course crypto cycle. This is just what happens. It's been in different forms each cycle. We had Mount Gox, we've had Silk Road, we've had we've had everything you could think of as a narrative and a paradigm shift, and it changes each time. It's something different, but I think there's something that always rings true out of all this. And I want you guys to help. I want you to tell me what you think that is. What's the lesson out of all of that every cycle, Black Swan, and narrative that we've seen? What's the lesson? What do you think? I don't know how many people are watching, so it might just be headband at this point. Yes. Ozzy, yes. Every bull run, some exchange, something happens, something goes down, blah blah blah. But what is always the lesson? You get, yes, DCA. That's the lesson. You DCA and you just hodl strong. Crypto's like, what's the question again? What's the question again? I'm like, listen up, class. All right, so what's the lesson? What's the lesson? Yes, there you go. Self-custody. That's the lesson. It always goes back to holding longer and self-custody. And you never give up your integrity, your dignity, and all that stuff to start promoting exchanges, because they like give you they're like the shiny thing over here. Ooh, the yield. Ooh, no, I'm not getting fooled by that crap anymore. Ooh. No, there's people building privacy protocols that you can have your own device and have your own crypto. That's the stuff that I want to pay attention to. No, I'm not getting fooled by these extractors anymore, like CZ, like all these people. I'm not doing it. So that's the lesson. Not your keys, not your crypto, not your keys, not your cheese. Centralized exchange means centralized pain in your soul. That's what it means. So that's the lesson, my friends. It's very simple. And we have to, and sometimes we have to go through these events to get that lesson reined in and knocked in and drilled into our head, because we have made a lot of mistakes and have learned some lessons. I hope we've learned, but we have truly in our crypto journey have gone back and looked at like what we were onto, and we were smart. We really were onto something. We discovered the what dollar cost averaging was and what it truly meant. And we were almost addicted to DCAing. I remember I was at a point where when I discovered this, I even when I got $5 extra, I would ride my bike. We lived in this neighborhood where there was a bank, a BBT, right outside of the neighborhood. And I would ride my bike, and any extra cash I got from doing drum lessons or whatever, I would literally, like a robot, go and put it in the bank and immediately DCA. I'm going back to my roots, my friends. I'm going back to my freaking roots. That was my roots, man. I wasn't trying to trade. I wasn't trying to catch the next whatever. I wasn't in the trench. No, I had my freaking coins that I discovered that I was like, oh yeah, this feels right. And those same coins that I was DCAing into and that I discovered, I still like now. So what's different? What's changed? The market trying to manipulate me and turn me into a freaking pawn to get extracted. And my friends, like, that's not going to happen to you and me. Absolutely not. And we're going to learn from this, and we're going to see all this. We're going to see all this on the timeline and see for our own eyes and see the freaking writing on the damn wall. That this man right here is not your friend. He's not helping the space at all. And he's hurt a lot of people, and the dude does not deserve a pardon. President Trump, if you have any soul in your body, That dude does not deserve a pardon. Okay? He served his time, paid the money, but at a point, no, don't pardon him. Don't pardon that freaking guy. Sorry, but I don't know. Too much manipulation, and you're totally behind it, my friend, and all your little Chinese buddies. So what's the answer? Morad told us as well. What should you learn from yesterday or the day or 2 days ago? Don't leverage, don't use leverage, don't use margin, don't use debt, don't pair trade, stop trading. The only way to make it is you do spot, do hodl, do DCA, and you need to believe in something. And that, my friends, is the end of this live stream. Thank you for tuning in. I really do love every single one of you. Make sure you check out all of the links in the description. It's got my website. You can check out all of the things that we are affiliated with. And we hope to see you on the next one. Peace out.
This token is the end game. It's the shitcoin of shitcoin. I mean, imagine telling your coworker you're quitting because Harry Potter Obama Sonic 10 and you coin. Boom! Imagine the media reporting on Harry Potter Obama Sonic 10 and you. Ticker is Bitcoin, breaking 1 billion market cap. Now, unless you hate money, go ahead and visit
hposni.com.
Hey everyone, I just wanted to show you a really quick metric that I found fascinating. So 41% of the people that have been watching this channel and actually liking the channel and the content have not subscribed. 41% of you, but I will say 58% of you subscribed. Amazing. You guys are doing awesome. But I want to say that the people that are not subscribed yet, please, won't you consider subscribing to the channel and joining the Dojo crew where we are educating ourselves. We're in the markets every single day. We're live streaming Monday through Friday, and we're also posting content on a daily basis that is keeping up with these cryptocurrency markets. And this is where the money is flowing right now, guys. So if you want to get these updates and you want to be ahead of the game, I suggest you start subscribing and dinging the bell to be notified whenever I go live and post content, because you do not want to miss it.